A pig can have a best friend. Not a best friend in the human way, not matching bracelets, not a tiny emotional support coffee order. A pig is not secretly saving another pig's birthday in its phone. But put young pigs in a group, let them grow up beside each other, and something quietly specific begins to happen. They do not treat every body around them like the same pink object. They learn who is familiar, who is safe, who belongs close. And sometimes, one familiar body matters more. That should feel ridiculous because we usually sort animals into simple social boxes. Dogs are the friendship animals, cats are the selective roommates, pigs are supposed to be the muddy background characters of the farm. But pigs ruin the chart. To understand why, stop picturing a pig as a lonely cartoon animal beside a fence. Domestic pigs come from a social lineage. Wild boar relatives, especially females with young, often live around groups where bodies matter. A young pig does not enter the world as a tiny independent philosopher. It enters a noisy pile of siblings, warmth, milk, pushing, smell, and sound. The first lesson is not just where food is. The first lesson is who is here. That matters because familiarity is not a decorative detail in a social animal. It is information. A known grunt, a known smell, a known shape beside you can tell the nervous system that the world is predictable enough to handle. Humans understand this more than we like to admit. Walk into a room full of strangers alone, and suddenly your brain becomes a suspicious receptionist. Every face needs processing. Every silence feels personal. Your hands become the strangest objects you own. Walk into the same room with one close friend, and the room changes. Not because the walls moved, not because all risk disappeared, but because one familiar person gives your body a place to land. The unknown becomes smaller when it has a known body inside it. A pig does not need human-style friendship for something similar to matter. It does not need language, promises, or late-night emotional speeches. It needs repeated nearness, familiar smell, soft contact, the calm pattern of a companion that has been there before. This is where best friend becomes both useful and dangerous. Useful because pigs can recognize familiar companions and do not respond to every individual the same way. They can form stable social relationships, and familiar group members can become part of what makes a place feel normal. Dangerous because if we make pigs into tiny humans with hooves, we stop seeing the real animal. A pig friendship is not human friendship wearing a snout. It is older, simpler, and in some ways stranger. It is a biological shortcut for safety. One body beside another body, one nervous system taking cues from another nervous system. And this is why separation can hit hard. When a pig is removed from familiar companions, it may call out, become agitated, withdraw, or behave as if the world has suddenly become less manageable. That does not mean we can diagnose a pig with human depression from across a pen. We should be careful with that word. But careful does not mean cold. The safer statement is still powerful. Social loss can create real distress in pigs. The absence of a familiar companion is not nothing. It can change behavior, movement, vocalization, and the animal's ability to settle. That is not cute trivia. That is welfare. Because for a social animal, companionship is not an extra feature added after food and water. It can be part of the structure that helps the animal cope. A pen with bodies in it is not automatically a society. A group is not automatically comfort. The identities inside the group matter. Who is familiar matters. Who is missing matters. And that gives pigs an uncomfortable kind of depth. We want them simple because simple animals are easier to ignore. A muddy pig is funny. A hungry pig is useful. A sleeping pig is background. But a pig with a preferred companion becomes harder to flatten into a cartoon. It has a social world. Not a human social world, not a school cafeteria with hooves. A pig social world, built from contact, memory, smell, sound, fear, comfort, and repeated ordinary nearness. That's the strange part. The thing that looks soft and sentimental may actually be ancient and practical. Long before humans had words like friendship, mammals were already solving the same problem in physical form. Alone, the world is larger. Together, the world becomes a little more survivable. So when two pigs sleep pressed against each other, it may look like nothing special, just warmth, just mud, just two ridiculous animals stacked like badly designed pillows. But hidden inside that ordinary pile is one of the oldest ideas in social life. A familiar body can become part of home, a known breath in the dark, a world that feels less dangerous because someone else is still there.